What's up, BF fam? This is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions Beats and Feasts. Hey guys, it's Friday. What does that mean? It's time to do another cooking video. So today we're going to do something that is very widely requested amongst our comments here, and that's going to be chicken gnocchi soup. So this is a soup that's been very much so made popular by Olive Garden, and as far as that goes, they've been famous for it. So, and if you remember, I also did another soup from Olive Garden back in my other videos called Zuppa Toscana. So, you know, it's been made popular as well. But we're gonna do this chicken gnocchi soup today. And but before we even get started, go ahead and smack that like button, comment on the video, and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. It gives me motivation to keep doing content here on YouTube. But let's get started with the chicken and gnocchi soup. All right, guys, so to get started today, this is a very simple but flavorful recipe, and as I always do, I'm going to start with my supporting cast. So we're going to do the pink Himalayan sea salt, and these two are just to taste. And then black pepper. We have a little bit of, this is basically just chili flakes. This is the basil here, and then we also have a little bit of thyme as well. Of course, EVO to get started on my vegetables. We're going to use some half and half. You can also use heavy cream if you want, or milk. It's going to have a little bit of spinach in it. I'm not a spinach fan, but it really goes good in this recipe. And then we're using chicken broth and then some garlic. Now, we're going to go ahead and also use, this is nothing more than really just a mirepoix here. I got my carrots, and I've cut them up a little bit differently in long strips this time. And then I also have the celery and onions over here. And then, of course, I have my chicken already shredded up. I left it a little bit lumpy. I don't like it all shredded to the point where we're eating strings. And then, of course, the star of the dish, my potato gnocchi. If you guys aren't familiar with gnocchi, it's really just a pasta, almost of sorts. So it's like a potato pasta, really. And they put it in, you know, we get them in these. Now, typically, I will make my own gnocchi, but I was a little bit of a time crunch today. So this is store-bought. You know, there's something to say for if you make your own. It's just like pasta. It's always going to taste better if you do a homemade, but I got these from Trader Joe's, and they are absolutely wonderful. They are like pillows. They're flaky, and they're very, very soft. So if you're in a pinch and you have to do it, Trader Joe's is the place to go. So anyway, guys, let's get started on this. I'm going to start just basically with the power pressure cooker. By the way, I'm using this. You know, this has been one of my best friends for the last year. I love this thing. I've never owned another power pressure cooker, but I don't know if I want to. The power pressure cooker XL is great. So if you're out there and you got a few dollars, just go. I think I spent $100 on it or something like that. Maybe a little bit more at that time. Anyway, let's get started with the chicken and gnocchi soup. I'm going to put a little bit of my EVO here. I'm going to first turn this on here for you guys. So, and I'm basically what I'm doing is going to be in sear mode. So I'm going to start it up here, increment it to high, and then back down to 15 minutes. That puts me in sear mode. So basically I can sear off any meats or vegetables, whatever I like. I'm pouring a little bit of EVO. As long as the lid is not on, so you know you're not going to be building pressure. So you're just basically, this works as just like a frying pan. So to get started, I'm just going to add my mirepoix. So in the mirepoix, if you're not sure, I think it's a term that derives from New Orleans. So it's the base for almost everything. This is the base for, you know, all the gumbos and the etouffee, all that stuff. So it's nothing more than celery, onion, and carrots. And sometimes people will substitute one for another, you know, but it's the basic mirepoix. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in. I've got 1 large onion and about 4 celery stalks here. Put that off to the side, and then I got my carrots here. That's really about 4, maybe 5 carrots, I think it is. But we're gonna get this hot and just stir it up in here, and we're gonna start, so to speak, sweating those off until the onions get a little translucent, just so that the flavors start to melt together. So as you can see, the mirepoix is starting to sweat off a little bit here, and as it starts to sweat, as I said, to taste, I'm going to add some of my pink Himalayan sea salt. I always say season your vegetables. So add a little bit of sea salt here. Pink Himalayan, I should say. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. Stir that up a bit. But you can hear that it's getting nicely caramelized here. All right, and then I'm going to add my crushed red pepper. Just a little bit for a little bit of heat. Not a whole lot. Stir that up a little bit. All right, guys, so after that, we're simply just going to add, you know, I can sweat this down a little bit longer if I wanted to, but the pressure cooker does a really good job with it. If I was doing this in a crock pot, I might sweat it down a lot longer. Just going to add my, this is 2 chicken breasts that has been shredded. And as you can see, I haven't shredded them to the point where they're stringy. I kind of like it a little chunky, give my soup some body. And then from there, we're going to add about, I do it by eye. Typically, a recipe is going to say about 2 cups. But I'm going to do this by eye. That was just a partial. I'd already used that, so I'm just finishing it up. Probably a little bit more than 2 cups. And I might add some more as the recipe develops here. But as you can see, yeah, I might add just a tad bit more right now. There we go. So as you can see there, it's pretty saturated with chicken broth. Now to this, I'm also going to add my garlic, okay? So I'm going to use 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic. I like my garlic. Stir that up a bit. All right, and then from there, we're going to add a little bit of basil, probably about 2 teaspoons. And we're going to add some fresh thyme. This is probably more like a heaping teaspoon. And of course, everything is the taste that I do. So sometimes I will put a recipe down in the description, but sometimes I will not. It just depends on how it tastes and how far it's off. So I like to cook by taste. It gives them a little bit more soul to the recipe. But, you know, the recipe is a good starting spot. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. That's as long as it's going to take for the vegetables to get done. And it's been about 7 minutes or so. So I'm going to do something I very seldom do on camera because it takes so long. But we're going to do it. I'm going to show you how I actually do it. So I'm going to stop the pressure cooker. And then I'm going to basically release the pressure. So you guys will get to see this as it happens. So you see the steam coming out of it. Makes that nice and loud annoying sound. That usually takes about 3 minutes or so and it'll calm down. Then I can release the lid. Okay, guys? So we'll let this happen and then I'll release the lid for you guys. So you can hear it calming down a little bit. So a few more minutes, probably another minute or so. That's the reason why I normally don't show this on camera. So you will almost fall asleep doing this. All right, so you hear it calming down here. So once it gets totally, you can feel it now. You can see how the lid has loosened itself. All right, and then it'll flip right open for you. Always lift it away from you. You see the water and the steam there? Then I set it down on its back here. Very simple. So I'm going to take this and stir it up a little bit here. And I'm going to grab a piece of the carrot. Well, yeah, I'm going to grab a piece of the carrot because that typically is the hardest root vegetable in here. Carrots are totally soft. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, very simply, is we're gonna add the gnocchi to it. Gnocchi has already been cooked. I've already boiled it. So we're gonna simply add it to it. Gently stir this around just a little bit here. From this point on, I don't have to put it under pressure. Put this over here. I don't have to put it under pressure from this point on. So the next thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add 2 cups of cream. Sorry, half and half in this case. We're gonna add 2 cups of it, and then I'll see what the consistency is like, and I'll also see what the flavoring's like. All right, guys, and then we're simply just gonna stir this up. There we go. Now it's turning my nice color. All right. So we got the gnocchi in there. From this point on, I'm not gonna do anything except for turn it on. Like I'm in sear mode. Move it to medium high. Then I'm gonna increment, well, I can leave it on whatever setting. It's gonna start to act like it wants to build pressure. And now I'm gonna taste it a little bit. I'm gonna taste the broth. Oh God, that's really good. Really, really good. Of course, I put a little zing to it by putting that hot pepper in it, but it's really, really good. But I am gonna add a tad bit of salt. All right, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of pepper, and that's about it. All right, guys, the next thing that we're gonna add, which I don't have to really cook for this, is I'm gonna add my spinach. So I usually, it calls for, I think it's a cup of packed spinach, but I'm gonna simply just add a couple handfuls of it. Now I'm using baby spinach because I like baby spinach a little bit more than I do regular spinach for some reason. And that's gonna simply just wilt in there. All right, when this comes up to, start boiling a little bit, I'll let it boil for about 5 minutes or so. Then I'll show you a finished product, guys, okay? All right, BFM, so another perfection in the bowl, guys. I don't really know what to say. This is excellent soup for a nice cold winter day. Come in and get this. Ooh, nothing like it. But guys, this is chicken gnocchi. I don't want to say a copycat, but it's been made famous by Olive Garden, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hey, guys, and I appreciate everybody that's done that thus far. It's made me reach some of my milestones, so I appreciate everybody that's doing that and continue to do it. Hey, guys, this is Big Tone signing off. Peace.
Resurrection, I came, I'm back. In this game, can't relax. Resurrection, I came, I'm back. In this game, I'm even better with rap. Resurrection, I came, I'm back.